everyone and welcome to hole number 4, a par 4 of the Porthello Cove. The video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, so let's go! Yeah, we're going to play from the second tee here, as you can see. And we're going to, I don't know but I'm going to show you two different approaches to the green here. And the reason I'm showing you two approaches is because depending on the wind that you're going to have and where you put your ball with your drive, it's a big difference for the shot to shot, you know. So the thing that we're going to look for here is that we do want to have backspin, not for the drive, but for our second shot we need backspin. The reason we do need that is because we do want to get to aim just directly on the green to make the ball stop there as well, so we're not having any problem with that. So we're going to play with a Kingmaker, Apocalypse level 6, max topspin, and this shot of course can be applied with other clubs as well. So the only thing that we will have to do here is that we do have to overpower, and have in mind that when you do have this amount of topspin that you don't go like full blast overpower and go to the rough on top of the fairway here for the next one. We did cut the rough here, but it will be no problem. But cutting the rough here kind of means that we will be playing with the long iron here. And then we need to decide here, okay, do we want to go for the rough bump? Do we want to bounce it just before the green? Or do we want to go directly up to the green? We are going to decide to go directly up to the green. As you can see, the difficulty for our opponent here with the Goliath of a 7, that he cannot go directly onto the green without risking coming in too hot and will put himself in the rough or in the bunker behind. If you do have this club there, you can actually hit the rock like just after the green, hit the rock and it will bounce back. It's not a consistent bounce though, but at least you're going to get back. It's kind of a weird shot, but it's a fun one. We're going to play with a Saturn here, and I do think the Saturn or the Tsunami is the club to use here, because you do need backspin. If you do not have the Tsunami, then go with the Saturn. If you do not have a Saturn either, then yeah, then we're going to have a problem though. But we do take the Saturn, max backspin, important here to get the ball to stop there. So we're going to just want to hit the frame. So going to be a tough approach, but with some tailwind here, we're going to have a big problem to actually get this one directly to the pin. So then we maybe going to see if we're going to try to dunk it, or are we going to try to just get it up to the green to make a birdie, or what should we do here? So have in mind when you're dropping down with your adjustment, you will have to have in mind the trajectory is going to make your aiming point be lower, which is going to put yourself in a situation where you need to adjust a little bit less actually. So we put ourselves on the green there nicely. No real chance for the pin though, and that is the thing that we're looking for. Might we going to try to bounce there just after the rough, or go for the rough bump something instead? But this green is designed to make it tricky for you, even though it's a short par 4, that the green is definitely going to be very tough though. So after this approach, we're going to go and with a different approach, and we are going to have tailwind in that approach, and like tailwind for the drive, and that is going to be helpful for us as we can actually put ourselves in a situation where we can reach for the fairway on top to the right. I'm going to show you that just in a little bit. So, okay, like when we come to just summarize this this first shot here, and like first approach here, is like the drive, need to go with some overpower if you do have headwind, and this hole is going to be played exactly the same way as we did now if we're going to have headwind or a side wind, because we're not going to be able to reach over to the platform. We're going to go with the second approach, and that is something that we'll need to have in mind, because you know, we do not want to go too short, because even though we go before the water, like let's say we will be having like 12-13 miles per hour in headwind, then we need to kind of go before the water just for approach. Then we kind of need to have a guard and try to land that one directly on the green, and that is going to be very, very tough though. So hole number 4 again. So we're going to go with the second approach. Now we're going to have some tailwind here. And then we're going to try to get to the platform up to the right. And as you can see, we do have 9.9. And if you do have a little bit more topspin here, you can actually try to bounce on the platform that we are in now, over the water, second bounce to roll over towards that little island there. Now we're going to go with an earth ball, with with that does have power 4. So it's not like a berserker, but it's a power 4. Give ourselves the wind, max side spin, some curl, and 3 bars of top spin. And we'll land nicely over there to the fairway there. And from this distance, we're going to have a thorn. And this distance is so much easier to adjust for, and now we definitely have a good chance to go for the pin. So our opponent is going to try to just bounce it over there, and I don't blame him for doing so though, because if you don't feel confident enough to reach over, but we had a Thor's Hammer. Thor's Hammer level 5 does not have that much distance though, so with an Apocalypse, even though in level 2, 3, 4, 5, it's definitely going to be possible to reach over there, and I think you should take that chance to try to get it to that tiny fairway spot there, as it's going to give you a much better chance for the pin. So I would say, what will be the cutoff when it comes to the wind? I would say like 10-11 would be the cutoff for me if I'm going to try. So okay, now we're going to be in medium distance of our club, and we're going to go with max backspin. So just look at this now with the backspin that we're going to have. Such a good opportunity we do have. So even though you maybe love the Hornet or another short iron, here you need to go with the Thorn, so you give yourself a good chance to get this ball in the hole. So we're going to adjust for the shot to be actually slightly uphill, 10% uphill. So we're going to take away a little bit of our adjustment here. We're going to go with 2.5 rings. We hit it perfect, and as you can see here, we're going to go, we get the second bounce to push us to the left there, which is something that we'll need to adjust with the ball guide line position. So this was hole number 4, 2 approaches for Pro and Expert division in the Summer Major, the Porthello Cove. So you can find the hole on tour number 10, the World Links Pro. The video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. So here in the end, I want to wish you the best of luck in the Summer Major.